Hey there everyone, it's Dr. Sarah Andreas, and today I want to tell you a story. So, I don't know where this story originally came from. I tried to find the original source and I can't find it anywhere, but here's how the story goes. There was a beggar who sat outside of a building, and about every week a banker would go by and put coins in the beggar's cup. And he would always insist that the beggar give him a pencil. And he would say this statement: I expect that the merchants I buy from give me quality goods. Then he would take his pencil and leave. And this went on for a really long time. And then one day the banker came by and the beggar wasn't there anymore. And years went by and the banker was walking down a street and he saw a merchant in a building, and he recognized the merchant as the beggar. And the merchant said, "Hey, I'm glad that you came by. I wanted to tell you that you told me every week that I was a merchant, and I began to believe that. Instead of begging for pennies, I started selling pencils, a lot of them, and I became the merchant you see now." That story always reminds me that people become what we say and what we believe they can be. We can help plant the seeds of faith that people have more potential than they're currently showing. And don't just take my word for it. Johann Goethe gives us this statement, and she says, "If one treats people like they are, they'll never become more. If one treats people like they can be, one raises the human species." So I think that's a really big call to us as leaders, to be able to see more in the potential, not only see it, but be able to communicate it and inspire it in the people that we're leading. I think that's one of our biggest callings, is to develop more people as, not as followers, but more people as leaders. The question I posted earlier this week said, what would happen if instead of you thinking about your people as followers, you thought of them as up-and-coming leaders? What would change? The reality is that if we thought of them as up-and-coming leaders, we would share with them the potential that they have. We would plant those seeds of greatness, and we'd also water and fertilize them so that they could grow into the leaders that we need right now in our companies, in our organizations, and in our world. So I think it's up to each of us to start seeing people as more than just the office boy, more than just the guy who's washing motorcycles, more than just the person who's responsible to pour our coffee or clean our offices. It's our role as leaders to see them as more, to share what we can see, our vision, and encourage them to take the steps to get there. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you next week.